George Kilpatrick, Inspiration for the Nation. We're pleased to be joined by Ms. Shae Brooks-Roilling. She's the Executive Director of the Upstate Minority Economic Alliance, also known as UMIA. And 2021, as we look ahead to this year, well, let's start with what is the Upstate Minority Economic Alliance, Ms. Shae, for people that don't know or need a refresher on what it is and what you do for folks?
Yes, well, first of all, thank you for having me again, George. It's always a pleasure. And the Upstate Minority Economic Alliance is Central New York's regional minority chamber of commerce. Our mission statement is harnessing the economic power of the minority community for the benefit of the region. And all this really means is that African Americans, Latinx, New Americans contribute billions with a B in our local, regional, and national economies. And just as we are the consumers of products and services, so too are we the producers of products and services. Our target audience comprises of hybrid entrepreneurs or those who still work traditional day jobs while launching their enterprises, to those in the growth phases of their business, as well as mature business owners, whether or not they are brick and mortar.
Yeah, and so this is an organization that's here to help folks to do to network, to find out about opportunities, to get state certified. What are the kinds of services that you offer?
Absolutely. So a couple of our key unique value propositions is strategic networking, facilitated introductions and connections to resources. So I know that's all rolled into one ball, but we enjoy working with diverse community partners and stakeholders, and as such have sort of, I guess, emerged in terms of identifying one of the things that we're best at. And on any given day of any given week, George, I'll receive requests for facilitated introductions, those who have identified a particular individual or organization who can help advance their enterprise. Also, we hold forums, and our forums tend to attract diverse community stakeholders. And then beyond that, we connect our audience to other resources in our entrepreneurial ecosystem. We have adopted the philosophy of avoiding replication or duplication in this in this effort, and rather focusing on the novel programming that we have the ability to create.
Is it just me, or are we seeing a resurgence of Black-owned businesses being developed in Syracuse? And I speak of Black-owned businesses because that's who I'm talking to. But it feels like we're in a period of a renaissance. Is this just my perception, or is this in fact actually happening?
That's an interesting juxtapose because we're also in the midst of a pandemic.
At the
Right.
same time,
So,
right? We're
right,
losing
right,
some folks. Yeah.
right. So, as the saying goes, necessity is the mother of invention. We found, a lot of folks who are still, as I mentioned before, hybrid professionals. They see the need now more than ever to generate multiple streams of revenue.
Sure.
Given the uncertainty of these continuing pandemic times. Also those who have maybe thought or dreamed about it a long time, and because they're working from home, have thought, now maybe it's a good time to go ahead and stick their toe in the water, so to speak. So interesting times, to be sure.
Yeah, very interesting times. And I guess I was thinking about, some of the things happening in the South Side, and some of the new developments potentially happening. The new building, Salina First, Vicky Bracken's going to anchor a building with Eli Smith and those developers. So it's really, to me, it feels like even during this pandemic, we're talking about development.
Absolutely. Yeah, there were a number of projects in the pipeline pre-pandemic,
Right.
and those who were smack dab in the middle of launching their brick and mortar during the pandemic. So as they say, the show must go on. And also, there's also a saying that when the non-minority business audience sneezes or coughs, our black and brown businesses catch full-blown pneumonia. But if anything, our businesses have shown resiliency during these ongoing pandemic times.
Sure, sure. So tell me about share with the audience the kinds of services that you offer. I know it's networking opportunities, among other things. You do workshops, virtual workshops and connections. Tell me some of the things that people should be looking out for.
Certainly. Well, the first thing I would encourage your audience is to visit UMIA's site, Upstate
Upstate, dot
MEA.com.
com.
Right, right. And there you'll see the membership drop-down page and all of the membership levels and the key benefits and value propositions of being a member. Furthermore,
Well, let's
we
forget.
are
Well, hold on, Shae. The headline is "Become a Member," right? That's the headline.
of course, yes. I'm sure my board is listening.
Right, become a member, and this is what you get,
Right.
and this is a different level. So let's start with that. You want folks to
Yeah.
become members of UMIA.
Yes, of course, absolutely. It's very interesting because during this year, we were out there attempting to provide value. It was
Mm,
sort of like a come one, come all proposition. We know you're hurting. We know you're struggling. We don't want to ask anything of you at this time. We want to provide value. We want to help you. But in spite of all this, George, we have found businesses that have been approaching us saying, you know what? We see the value. You don't have to convince us of anything. Here you go. Sign me up. I want to be a member. So that's always a good thing, a fantastic thing. The other thing is that, as people will notice on the membership website there, we are an affiliate chamber of Center State CEO. We have another affiliate sister chamber, Fulton Oswego, but that being said, we enjoy a strong partnership, and in one of those membership levels, if a business becomes a member of UMIA, it means that at the professional level, it means that they're automatically a member of Center State at their base level. And so I encourage folks just to peruse that. And then the other thing, George, is that some of those benefits were created during last year, obviously pre-pandemic. And so we're just retooling a few of those to add
mhm.
even stronger value proposition as we turn the corner here to 2021 in ways that make sense strategically for our audience.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's really important when you think about uh, what makes sense for people and how do you operate and what are the things that people are needing and what are you finding that people are in most need of, if you were to give a couple of thoughts to what people are really coming to you for, or what is the unmet need that partners are trying to meet? What are some of the things that you're hearing from your existing membership and some things that you've identified yourself?
Certainly. Well, in addition to those facilitated introductions and strategic networking, access to resources, the number one need behind all that would be access to capital.
Sure.
Anytime that you need an infusion of capital in your enterprises so that you can produce more widgets or expand your services or hire more staff or
Hmm.
expand infrastructure so that you can attract even more revenues and increase your profit margin. It's all interconnected. And we could spend another whole segment of your show, perhaps another time to, discuss why that is exactly and why perhaps there wasn't as high of a rate of participation in the Paycheck Protection Program or the Economic Injury Disaster Loan round one, and 1.B. Now we
Right.
have another
We
round
have
being
another
just
round.
approved yesterday.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
So there's a myriad of reasons, but the direct pointed answer to your question is plain and simple: access to capital. And UMIA has been working very hard and continues to do so in the coming year in that space.
What are some of the goals for you, me, in 2021?
Well, you were part of our annual meeting just this last week, and I recall having a slide in there saying that there is so much more work that needs to be done. I mean, however hard we feel that we've worked in the past, couple of years, there's so much more in front of us, and so we will be attacking that strategic plan and fleshing it out in the year 2021 so that we can continue to build a solid foundation that won't crack. And again, leveraging these strategic partnerships in ways that make sense for our target audience.
Are we allowed to, when I say allowed, am I allowed to ask you about your other business or during this conversation?
Oh, you're so kind. Yeah. So the you always catch me off guard when you ask me that. No, that's fine. You know what? The way I look at it, George, is that I really am reflective of the audience that I serve.
Right.
I just sort of self-dub myself servant leader. I'm a servant leader
Yeah.
to the audience. But yes, I'm reflective. I am that
Y-
high full-time professional turned hybrid entrepreneur turned full-fledged business owner. So when I'm, throwing out this lingo all the time,
You're living that
I
life.
I know what it's like to be in the market for access to
and,
capital because I had to purchase a franchise.
and I
Exactly.
ask you that question because the business that you're in, event prep, and the, you know, planning events for people to show up to places that can't have anything, can't do anything. And so how challenging that must have been or is, and how you recover from the from an industry that's dependent on
Right.
people showing up in person,
Right.
right?
So it's interesting because in my world of entrepreneurship, it's sort of been a seesaw effect. So for those of you who don't know me, yes, I'm a serial entrepreneur. And my social micro business enterprise is just the basics financial literacy,
Yeah.
where I teach, speak, preach financial literacy education. I'm a certified educator of personal finances, been doing this well over a decade. I'm an author, et cetera, et cetera. So, what does that all mean? Well, during the pandemic, I saw an increase, an uptick in requests for financial education,
Hmm.
particularly by organizations. And then again, for those who don't know me, my bread and butter for the past 25 years has been event and conference planning. That's been my primary profession. And so 3 years ago, I acquired a franchise,
Seems like
Event Prep.
yesterday.
I
Wow.
know, it seems like yesterday. I misspoke. Correction. 2 years ago,
Uh-huh.
I bought into the franchise. It's based just outside of DC, even though I'm locally based. Made history in doing so, and so back to the pandemic, the events and hospitality industry has been hit extraordinarily hard as a result of the pandemic.
The word that comes
So
to mind is decimated. Come on. I mean, really.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, just devastated. So again, I was sort of experiencing this seesaw effect, this dramatic decrease or decline in the events and hospitality space, and a spike in the request for the financial literacy education. And that again is where I'm always going to tie it back to the audience,
You know, I'm
but
coming back. And if you didn't go there, I was going to bring you there.
right. But this is another reason why I encourage folks to pursue multiple streams of revenue.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. I mean, right, because and actually that's not an exception. That needs for many folk, it has to be the rule. It is no longer really gonna work in today's economy because you can see the impact of not being able to have that flexibility and what that means and what that has done. Let's go all the way home and tie it back to UMIA. So with UMIA, you have a network of folks just like yourself who have experienced a variety of things. And I would dare say becoming a member, it gives you the opportunity to take advantage of those resources at whatever level you choose, but that there are other folks who have experienced, who've been through some of the ups and downs, who've had to make payroll, who've struggled to make payroll, who have struggled to have access to capital, who have exceeded and not struggled and have had a good run of it. So you get exposed to all those folks. Yeah.
Right. And so I have a slogan, and the slogan for those considering membership in UMIA is come hang out with us. Like
Uh-huh.
literally just come hang out with us. And I'm in Yumia's office right now, and I'm so the light. I guess I have to move.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe this. Okay.
There you go. There you go. There you
The
go.
motion lights. But
Yeah.
anyway, what I mean, I don't know if that's going to end up on tape. So what I mean by that is, come get to know us as an
Yeah.
organization.
Hmm.
Come to our trainings, our webinars, et cetera, our strategic networking events. But by the same token, allow us an opportunity to get to know you and your business and the nature of your business. You have no clue what runs across this desk on a daily basis and what kind of inquiries that I receive. And we're all about connecting. And of course, we do many things beyond connecting, but that's step number one, cultivating a relationship with us. In fact, I'm going to dangle a little carrot stick in front of your audience, George. But even now, even this morning, I got a query for upcoming award nominations in 2021, and
Okay.
one of the value propositions of being a member of UMIA is that I can't even consider you for some of these awards unless you are a member of UMIA.
Well, now.
So if I don't know you, I can't help you.
All right.
And we're a fun bunch. We're us, George. We're dynamic people. So we have fun while we're learning. And let me just throw another one in there. Sometimes we've conducted these Zoom webinars. People are networking like crazy in the private Zoom chat. And
Right,
afterwards,
right. Oh, you do that? Oh, you do
I'm
that?
hearing stories afterwards. Oh, I connected with so and now I'm going to buy this from them. Or so and so became a customer, and that doesn't bother me at all. If you're absorbing technical information, but you're getting your networking on as well, getting your side hustle on, so be it.
Do what you got to do. All right. So get to know UMIA, upstatemea.com. Shae Brooks-Roilling is the executive director of the Upstate Minority Economic Alliance 2021. They want to get to know you, but you can get to know them too. All right. Shae, thank you so much.
Thank you, George. Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa, inspiration for the nation.